Hello, is public charging a rip-off? Well, I've been going through the numbers and I'll let you decide who is the most expensive public charger and are they ripping the public off? To be honest, I've got a headache looking at all the EV public charging kilowatt per hour prices, membership and discounts, so you don't have to. So please subscribe if you could for future updates on my Tesla Travel channel. That would be fantastic. Thank you. So BP Pulse costs 79p a kilowatt hour. A couple of years ago, I thought Ionity was pretty expensive at 69. And I'm wondering who is paying the price for charging when you can get much cheaper public charging. But of course, BP do offer you an introductory offer. So I thought I would work out the maths in detail. If you subscribe to BP Pulse, you pay £7.85 every month and you get 1 month's free subscription. Then you get 9 monthly credits for 5 months. So over the 6-month period, you pay £39, you get a credit for £45, so you're £6 in credit. And you also get 20% discount on the 79 kilowatt per hour price, reducing the price to 63p. So after 6 months, you pay the full £7.85 monthly fee. So if you charge at a BP Pulse 50 kilowatt hours a week, it would cost you £31 at the 63p a kilowatt hour discounted rate. Over 26 weeks, that would cost you £821, less the £6 original credit. So the total in 6 months would be for 1,300 kilowatt hours, So BP Pulse with membership would cost 62p and £815. After 6 months, you lose the discount and it's 66p, that's £868. And then BP with the no membership would cost 79p a kilowatt hour, and that would cost £1,027. And of course, the thing with the membership is it does force you to go there, and you might wish to go to other places that are much better value. It kind of ties you in. I've never heard of anyone having a subscription fee for petrol, but BP seem to want to do it with electricity. I suppose it depends whether they're close to you or not, whether you can charge at home, what your personal circumstances are. So you can see why I got a headache, but there's a lot more. I decided to use the 1,300 kilowatts an hour over the 6 months as a baseline, as it was very close to my own 6 monthly mileage and charging history figures. I don't do that many miles weekly, but then go on a very long road trip with Jennifer to Portugal or Scotland, and that's where I use the miles up. Years ago I was a rep and would do it easy, 1,000 miles a week, no trouble at all. I wish I had my Tesla then and not the Vauxhall Cavalier. So ChargePlace Scotland kilowatt prices are between 3 and 50p. Lucky if you live in Scotland, but they average about 30p kilowatt hour. Now 1,300 kilowatt hours would cost you £390. So no wonder in Scotland you're laughing at some of the prices we're paying in England and Wales, and shows what can be done. Scotland has the cheapest prices in the UK. Some are free and many may be slower charges and cheaper than charging at home. They also have the rapid and fast charges, are typically 25p, 35p and occasionally 55p. And as you can see, way cheaper than BP, even with the discounts. What I like about Scotland, it's a great place to charge an EV if you can't charge at home, as so many of the car parks have the slower chargers, which is fantastic, and you're never far from where people live, walk or go. And that's quite brilliant. They've done a great job in Scotland. Very impressed. Now Tesla prices have reduced recently, and the prices are up to date on the Tesla touchscreen and a little higher and out of date on the ZapMap app, which I think is fantastic, but Tesla prices are a little bit behind. Tesla prices have reduced recently to between 38p and 44p kilowatt hour, from 40 to 60p, but 50 plus was often the average, and so that's a nice reduction. I'd can't remember seeing any press releases. Nice for someone to reduce prices. That's really good. Well done, Tesla. Be interesting to see if Shell, BP and some others reduce the prices, because electricity has come down in price quite a lot recently. So if you have a Tesla and use the same 1300 kilowatt hours over the 6 months, it will cost either 44p or 38p kilowatt hour, depending on the time of day. So that's either £520 over the 6 months or £572. Gridserve costs 69p a kilowatt hour, and that would cost £897 for the 1300 kilowatt hours. I used to use them occasionally when I first had my Tesla. They're normally close to the Tesla superchargers on motorway services, thinking one day I might not have a Tesla, and they were closer to the Tesla price. But now they're a lot more expensive, so I don't use them anymore. Sad. If I didn't have a Tesla, probably would be my first choice, unless I lived in Scotland, where I'd use Charge Place Scotland. Fastened, I always think should be called Fastnet, also 69p kilowatt hour, but they do offer a £10 monthly subscription, reducing the price by 30% to 48p a kilowatt hour. So 1300 kilowatt hours would cost you £687. Quite a nice reduction, but again, with the subscriptions, you're tied. To get the best value, you've got to use them all the time. Okay, if there's one close to you, it's up to your own personal circumstances. Ionity, owned by BMW, Mercedes, Volkswagen, Hyundai, Audi, Porsche, costs 74p a kilowatt hour. I don't use them because I own a Tesla and they're very expensive. That will cost £962, but I believe Ionity do offer discounts if you buy a BMW, Mercedes, VW, Hyundai, and maybe launching a card with reductions. They certainly need to, because £962 is pretty expensive. Now, InstaVolt costs 75p, and you still need to use the app and pay a deposit. They used to be much better. When I first had my Tesla in 2021, I looked at the alternatives to Tesla superchargers, and GeniaPoint and InstaVolt were much cheaper than Ionity. But sadly, they're more expensive now, and I've overtaken them. So a 1300 kilowatt would cost you £975, which is quite expensive. Osprey costs 79p. That's £1,027 for 1300 kilowatts of electricity. Now, GeniaPoint also 79p. I've just remembered that I have £9 on my GeniaPoint card from a time that I thought I might need it on an emergency, but I think it's time to use it up. Some GeniaPoints are less, but the majority are 79p kilowatt hour, so that would cost you £1,027. MFG EV Power costs 79p, and that would cost £1,027. Also, they do have a promotion going from midnight to 7 a.m. in the morning, which would make that a little bit cheaper. So, Shell Recharge costs between 79p and 85p, and that's between £1,027 and £1,105 for 1300 kilowatt hours over a 6-month period. So how many billions of dollars do they make out of selling oil? Really, how greedy do you have to be? It has to be an emergency use, I think, to use one of those. You really have to be desperate. You really do. Did you know if you're thinking of buying a Tesla, you can get a discount by using a link from a friend? You can then get some free supercharger miles or other freebies from Tesla. But if you don't have a friend with a Tesla, and you consider me a friend, and I hope so, please use the link below and we'll both get some Tesla supercharging miles or freebies. Hope you can look at my other videos as Jennifer and I travel around Europe in our Tesla. Please like if you did, and consider subscribing and hitting the notifications bell. That would be fantastic, and thanks for getting this far. What do you think so far? Was this helpful or not? Please leave your comments below, and don't forget to take your reusable coffee mug wherever you go. Thanks very much. Take care. Bye.